The Intercept is reporting on another round of free speech crackdowns. This time it's happening in Texas, and it's targeting critics of Israel. Let's take a look.
I never thought I would be forefront for an issue or for a cause. I'm not a major activist, no. I'm not. I'm a busy mom of 4 kids. For me, it was like an opportunity for me to do something because my kids were watching me, first of all. And I always tell my kids, when you see something wrong, you have to fix it. I'm a speech-language pathologist. I have been contracting with Pflugerville Independent School District for about 9 years now. What was unique about my position was that I spoke Arabic, so we were able to correctly evaluate kids who came in with Arabic as a language. I love my job a lot. I've always wanted to be in a job that was in the service field, because I know I'm making a difference. This year, I got a new contract with new compliances, and I came across one that shocked me. The point of boycotting any products that supports Israel is to put pressure on the Israeli government to change its treatment, the inhumane treatment of the Palestinian people. Having grown up as a Palestinian, I know firsthand the oppression and the struggle that Palestinians face on a daily basis. I have to set an example for my kids. We got to stand up for what's the justice and for right and equal opportunity for everybody and humane conditions. And so for me, it was an easy decision in that aspect. I could not sign it. I was forced to depart from my job because I will not sign it, and I cannot return back if I don't sign it. I have been here in the States for over 30 years. I'm an American citizen. I follow the law, and so I have the luxury of having these rights, which many people in other countries do not have. It infringe on all my principles. And on top of that, my right to speech and also right to protest. It's baffling that they can throw this down our throats, and decide to protect another country's economy versus protect our constitutional rights. I knew that I had to do something because I knew it's going to affect more than just me. It may affect also my kids. So I knew that something had to be done, and I couldn't just let it pass by.
Wow. So she was fired for refusing to pledge to boycott Israel. For refusing to pledge to not boycott Israel. That's what I meant to say. It's just such an obvious crackdown on free speech. And this is literally the government doing it too. So it is insanely unconstitutional. There is no way that this holds up in federal court. None. It's not even a close one, man. You have to remember, guys, even with, take Antonin Scalia, for example. One of the most conservative justices, arguably, in American history. Even he said on the issue of flag burning, he was like, listen, even though I don't like it, even though I think it's wrong, it is obviously protected speech. So you can't have the government arrest people or fine people or crack down on them for burning the American flag. Doesn't matter that we don't like it. We live in a country that gives us the freedom to do that. That's Antonin Scalia who said that. So even right-wing justices, right-wing judges in federal courts will look at this and go, you're going to fire somebody because they're refusing to pledge to not boycott a country? No, they have the right to boycott a country. Of course they do. I mean, how ridiculous is this? Imagine for a second it was Saudi Arabia, not Israel. You have to sign this pledge to not boycott Saudi Arabia. What? What does that mean? Am I allowed to say bad things about them? They behead people in the public square for sorcery and witchcraft and apostasy? Am I allowed to say that? Or is that too far for you too? Is it too far to say that Israel is doing illegal occupation under international law? Am I not allowed to say that either? Will it hurt your snowflake feelings? Will you fire me as a result of that? Imagine, and this one's obviously harder to imagine because they're not an ally of ours, but imagine if this was the case with Iran. Are you boycotting Iran? If you're boycotting Iran, we're going to fire you. How dare you boycott Iran? But you have Israel and Saudi Arabia, definitely human rights violators. If you want to boycott them to say, hey, you have to give Palestinians rights and you should give Palestinian rights, they're trying to make that illegal. De facto illegal because they'll take away your livelihood. They'll take away your livelihood if you don't do as you're told and back off Israel. It's sheer insanity, man. This is an obvious open and shut case. That's what this is. And, you know, Glenn Greenwald makes this point all the time. He's right. When you look at in terms of litigation, when you look at the actual biggest threat to free speech in this country, it's pro-Palestinian activism. That is actually legislated against. There are more laws against that than on any other issue regarding speech all across the country in today's day and age. So, and that says something, you know? And I'm sure a lot of people don't know that. You know, you listen to some of the right-wing so-called free speech warriors online, and they don't tell you where the actual legal threat to free speech is coming from today. Kind of weird.